we are going to jump into game now. Uh, First, I guess let's do a little recap. But after, well, let's do a little recap first, and then I'll prompt you for something else. Who wants to give it this time?
Are you?
Okay. 1 second. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
You're good. You're good.
Do I sound okay?
Yep, you sound
Okay.
good.
Let's see if I can remember this on the fly. So, right, we picked up right at the Dragon Peak with the after having released a dragon. Supposedly, after lighting a fire in a brazier at the top of the mountain, we heard a distant roar. That's where we picked up. After hearing that roar, we decided, after not really seeing the dragon, at least coming towards us, we decided to pick up and head down the mountain. We bypassed the rams. We took the eagle corpse because we still had an eagle corpse to burn. We didn't know exactly how we were going to burn these corpses because there was no eternal flame that we found that we were supposed to find. So we just kept switching a lantern fire that we took from the brazier, from light source to light source. Not sure if it was going to work. We ended up putting it on a flat rock and carrying a fire all the way down the mountain. Also, we did investigate the eagle nest because in the previous session, the mama eagle took off, or the daddy eagle took off, with 2 eggs. So we thought there might be treasure up in the eagle nest. Theomore levitated himself up to the nest and found a beautiful whole eagle egg.
Yes.
We took the eagle egg down, and we have designs on hatching this thing into a fully grown eagle, hopefully, and training it to be our pet. We made our way down the mountain. We checked out the door, the wizard door in the cave. Unfortunately, we didn't have any means to open it other than brute force, so we cut open the door and discovered that there was nothing behind it but rock. And on the rock, there were etchings or paintings of a spell. From Theomore's investigation, we determined that it was actually a portal, and by breaking open the door, we broke the portal, so we don't know where it goes to. So that's another mystery. It had the same symbol as on the brazier at the top of the mountain, though, a hat symbol, so a wizard hat symbol. So after making our way down there, we stopped by. I can't remember if we stopped by Mutu's cave or if we got all of the last 2 animals. We levitated and dropped a gorilla in front of its children and listened to their cries and waited for them to fuck off until we could actually go collect the corpse. And then we did the same to a ram. Even less important, the feelings of lambs. So we got all the bodies. We took them down to Mutu's cave. Mutu was like, I don't know if this fire is going to work, but we might as well try it. So we're like, okay. And we burned the corpses, and Mutu crawled onto the bonfire of the burning corpses and disappeared, giving us a chest full of magical gear. Wonderful chest full of magical gear, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Anything I missed?
I think you got everything. We took the chest of things to the hut, and we spent the day there celebrating before we're headed to the town to announce our success. And we leveled up.
correct. And most
Yeah,
importantly, Eric leveled up. Um,
that's
that,
not at all the most important thing.
that
Not even
is
slightly.
that
But
is the
okay.
most important thing. He won't
I
go
wouldn't say
down
that.
as often. He rolled pretty well in his health check, didn't he?
We all did. I think he
Um,
got 6 HP. I got 6 HP. And Hal got like 10.
yeah, Hal got
I got
But,
10.
do you want
Oh
to
my God.
update your token?
Mhm.
So what you do when you update your token, you can like, if you're on the map, you can left click it, and then, or left double click it. Sorry, this is working well. And if you left double click it, you can just like insert, and then it says update default token. You have to click that as well, or like apply token settings, it might say. So, because it should apply to all of them.
That shit work. It doesn't.
28, yeah, or 26. I mean, I'm blind. Great. I wanted to ask. So we're gonna just pick up in the morning, unless you wanted to do
Mhm.
something that night. But we're kind of under the assumption that we're picking up
Yeah.
in the morning on the 5th of Forli, the 4th month of the year. And I wanted to go through, I guess, both of you. We'll start with Theomore. How's
Mhm.
Theomore feeling? Like what are his thoughts overall? He's been gone a while. He's been gone
Mhm.
pretty much as long as he's been on this continent. Or well, I guess it is a continent, this island, this subcontinent. How's Theomore feeling about everything?
I think, especially like during this quest, this most recent quest, he's never felt more estranged from the Empire. And, while being in Galen, it's obvious that like he feels that the Empire presence isn't as strong there as it, is back home. But
Mm-hmm.
but especially here out in the mountain with some like village people. He feels especially estranged from it. And the weirdest part is that it hasn't really bothered him.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't felt the desire to go back, or maybe he's just been so consumed by everything going on that he hasn't really thought about it. And in a sense, he feels not that he's like over Rhineland, but the more he sees himself progress and become stronger and now get these powerful items, the less he grows to trust the people in Galen, or
In Galen?
maybe even Lady Sypha. Or sorry, in Rhineland.
Oh, okay, in Rhineland. I thought you meant like the all the people here. I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, it feels like all the problems there seem so mundane. And the fact that they've been unable to do anything, I don't know. It's a frustration, and he's not really sure where it's coming from and how it's materializing yet. Yeah.
You'll have like these moments here and there throughout your journey where every soldier of the Sylvan Empire carries around a little silver knife. Um,
Mhm.
it's fairly small. It's not really meant for fighting. Uh, do you'll have your moments where you like look at it and you remind yourself that you have to polish it. Maybe you've been polishing it less frequently than you would back in Rhineland.
Mm.
You've just been so busy, whether it's like being almost knocked out or maybe being knocked out in the
Yeah,
woods.
been constantly on a fight for his life.
You look at your little knife, the shine that's faded away, clearly needs a new polish. Are you reminded of home at all? Or
Hmm. I think you take Theomore for a much more introspective person than he actually is. I don't think he would have those sorts of like this is a guy with 5 wisdom, right?
that doesn't
The
mean he can't be
the
introspective, but
deeply thoughtful and pondering person, that's not really him.
okay.
I think he's very much a person who suppresses his emotions by keeping busy with other things. And I think maybe he would stare out into the distance for periods of times or stare into his dagger or something like that. But I don't think he would think that it means anything special. I don't think he's very in tune with his own like emotions.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll leave it at that. Halifax.
Yes.
You've had a more down and up journey. Um, you've clearly have been put in your new position of, I don't know how to blatantly say this or say this more subtly, but your body and soul has been tested in various ways.
Yeah.
You've maybe met a new friend who's a local here. I don't know if you've really got along with. Maybe you got along with that homeless guy, but on the streets of Rhineland, who you've given bread to. But that's just more like you being a good person and trying to do good. Do you see Eric as a companion, as a friend, as a comrade? Are there any thoughts about this man who's if you're not making conversation with him, he's actually not really making conversation with you. He's quite quiet. He gives his insight here and there, his expertise when it's asked for.
I think that how as you say, he's kind of a down and up person. I think that Hal is looking for he's starting, so he came from a place in his life where criminality, where people kind of just used each other.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up kind of like that in a gang life, and he moved away from that intentionally in the more recent years, in the past decade or so. And he, I think, is because has this responsibility of freeing Galen from the Empire, and not only not just any kind of like mundane responsibility, but like a quest given by like supernatural beings to free Galen. He is sort of seeing people, almost starting to see people as almost like tools a little bit, and so
Mm-hmm.
he, despite the better angels of his nature, I think he is a little bit manipulative. So like,
Mm-hmm.
he like intentional with his manipulation, like trying to, but his manipulation is trying to inspire loyalty and trust in somebody like Eric, and also Theomore. I think he wants to develop a following to help him accomplish his goals in life, and in death.
Okay. And about so far finishing this quest, you have new riches in the form of magic items. In theory, all these things are something that you would declare to the Empire. You're technically Empire property. You are Sypha's property, in a sense. Um, this is something. These items could be better used in different parts of the continent. There are expeditions who are trying to break through the wall, which is the a giant mountain range to the west of Sylvan, and um, Saifa's mother is leading that expedition. There's other expeditions that are going back to Loredel that people were called upon, going back to the ancient lands where riches were found before. There's good use for these items. Is this something that you care to declare?
Hell no. Hal's not
Thought,
declaring anything.
well, the thought has not crossed Theomore's mind yet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
He
this
is,
thought wouldn't
yeah.
cross your mind until someone comes up and says, "Hey, Empire property." Um,
And I don't think it'll end well for them when they do, but that's
okay.
besides the point.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
sure.
I think for now, Theomore has been away from the Empire, and so I think normally he would have thought of this, but I think he's not in a headspace where.
Oh, oh, you're good. You're back.
My back. Okay,
You're
good.
not in the
What was the
headspace.
last thing you heard?
You're not in the headspace.
Oh, and not in the headspace to be, considering actions like that, or even in that like train of thought.
Hmm.
Yeah.
One
Even though
thing.
he would have been usually.
One thing that we've kind of been, overlooking because we don't need to write or talk about every single detail that happens in this campaign, um, is that every time you cast a spell, you're supposed to report it. And you would be writing these down. Well, I don't know if you have been, but this is something that's expected of you. You're just meant to write down all your spell castings, all your uses, kind of like filing a police report, or sorry, a report for every bullet that's fired from a police officer. You go through a similar, system of checks. You write this all down. Now, you don't have, since you're far away from any empire, from the university, you don't have to send it all in like every day, but it's assumed that you do send your eventually you send out your reports about all your magic castings. Have you been now I'm kind of telling you this now, how, although I feel like I've brought it up once, but maybe not to this detail.
I don't remember this at all, but I think
yeah, I
it's
didn't bring
probably
up
the
to
case.
this detail, but is this something that Theomore has been doing? This is a clear expectation of you.
I probably like at the back of his notebook or something like that. He has, a long list of all the spells he knows and like tally marks, just to be like, I cast this once, and then he would like check them out at the end of the day if he cast any spells.
Have you been going into, is it just like a tally, or have you been giving like descriptions? Because usually you're supposed to be giving descriptions like, I cast magic missile on this person we were pursuing. I cast the light spell in the eyes of a priest.
He would have stopped doing that as they embarked on this quest, because I think he would probably have like a big write up of like, or at least in his head, it would be like when I get back and I have a few days of downtime, I'll write out a few pages about this quest. These were the spells that helped me aid in this quest. But because I worked away from society for a long time, I did not have the ability to write them all down. Something like that.
This would be you would be probably reprimanded for something. Although you might be too naive to know that, you probably do write that down. But this is something just because we might not ever deal with this. I just want a world build here. I'm not saying any of this will actually come to fruition. But you would a person who does this would be reprimanded in some form. Whether that's like losing like some money or just having like a strike put on you. It is incredibly important that that the wizard has like a clear surveillance of you, and all their wizards to write down the spells that they're casting. Part of this is so that they know what level the person is. You know, if these people are casting these spells that seem, you know, useful, then likely they're getting XP from this. They can track your XP. And so if you hit a certain level without declaring that you've hit this level, you know, you've learned these circle of spells, you can be, if you're being secret about it, you could be deemed a rogue wizard that is working outside the bounds of the empire. Now, you know, if you hit a certain level and you declare it, that's totally good. It just, that means they'll start keeping closer eyes on you. So these are, again, might not have to deal with this, but I want to.
Now, I have a bureaucracy proficiency, right? Most useful thing in the game. Tell me, I mean, sure, there are many strict regulations and stuff like that, but there must be circumstances where they realize that it's not always possible. Like if you are far away from society and you don't have access to paper or something like that.
It's kind of a wizard's responsibility to not have them not put themselves into that position of like not being with their studies. A wizard kind of, I mean, we don't technically really have sorcerers here, but one of the key foundational aspects of being a wizard is your study, being a bit of a bookworm. And so keeping your collection is incredibly important. So you should almost never be walking around without paper in theory. Now, sure, there are dire circumstances, and maybe for your like one or two like spells that you forgot to cast, or you just forget about. If you genuinely forget about it, it's probably not an issue. But you've heard stories of, these rogue wizards, like they would have told you this in like ethics class or something, to scare you. There would have been these rogue wizards who were part of the academy who get brought back and have their mind read and to see if they're lying. And so, if you are genuinely forgetting something, small reprimand. If you were intentionally leaving out information and intentionally, not having your books be clean, you're gonna get much bigger reprimands.
Would you have like forms that you would fill out, or would you just have to like write, today I cast Dear Diary?
Yeah, there
today
wouldn't be
I cast
forms
2
for
magic
this.
missiles on a goblin.
There wouldn't be forms for this. This would just be, parchment paper or whatever, however you want to write this down. If you need to write this down on like a piece of like bark, like so be it. But yeah.
Sure. He would probably keep some like, at the very least, some like notes to himself that he could later interpret.
Yep.
As in like, day 1, magic missile, the goblin.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, and your level of detail is kind of like a little bit subjective, but it is expected for you to write down like your spell casting for every spell, with as much detail as possible. But obviously, that's a little bit subjective, but it's still expected.
Sure.
Anyways, I'll just leave it at that for now, so that we can learn about there may be future consequences for this kind of thing. Okay, so
interesting.
It's the morning. It's a new day. You guys can reflect, and you feel sort of the experience of this journey wash over you. Feelings of triumph, feelings of maybe certainty, maybe uncertainty as you have to make your trip back to Ryland. But first, maybe you go back to the village of Loth Hugo.
Well, I guess that was our primary objective, right? To recruit them.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm wearing the cloak, you're wearing the girdle. I think Theomore would ask if he could wear the gloves, since we don't really know what they do.
Yeah, That's fine.
You get the shield.
The ram shield. I have 'em written down somewhere.
Reek has the armor. The hide armor.
Sure. I will put that on his character sheet.
And the two of us have an eye each. Or like an eagle prism each.
Yeah, let me. I think I have to make an amendment to that one. Small amendment. I'm pretty sure it's a
Mhm.
pair of them, so I think they just come together. They're probably closer to like glasses, but maybe without the frames. Tied together somehow.
Wait.
So two
Okay, they're
pairs.
tied together then.
Yeah, it's one pair,
Okay.
but it's just like it's two of them. But
Oh, so
not something
only one of
like
us can use them at the.
at a
Only one
time.
can use them at the same
Hmm.
time, unless we get like really close to each other and use
well,
one end.
unless like you break it apart, you totally can. It's
Okay.
probably
Yeah.
some kind of metal, like soft metal that holds them together. That's like drilled through the
Okay.
things.
I wonder if these could improve your archery. Or maybe my marksmanship too. Curious.
Oh wait, can you cast spells through these like magic missiles?
I haven't tried. Perhaps.
That'd be like
Wait.
because you just need to see a target for magic missile.
There's
So
still
if
a
you could
range
use
on it.
No. There's a range.
Oh, there is a range. Okay, gotcha. Dang it.
Maybe it makes it stronger though.
That would be that'd be brutal.
For the enemy, yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
Okay, so yeah, you guys. Let me put it on Eric's character sheet. Although actually, I'm giving you guys Eric's character sheet for now, so you guys can
Yeah,
just put
we
the
have it.
hide armor on him.
Um,
Hide armor typically has 14 AC, so you can start there.
question: what do the webbed boots look like?
Oh shit. Forgot about
They are boots of a frog. So they have like a frog webbing on the bottom. But aside from that, they're probably more akin to like flippers. Yeah. Kind
Okay,
of like
I'm
wearing-
gonna put those. I'm not gonna be wearing those. I'm gonna be putting them in my bag.
They're not like as standoutish as like flippers are.
Okay.
But they're more like they look closer to flippers. Like as a like you can sort of like imagine like a sandals, with like longer like a wider like shoe that's like wet.
They sound like they're kind of ugly though.
I mean, all of these are kind of ugly.
Not the bear girdle, right? That's badass.
that is badass.
It's
And the
like
ape gloves?
yes
Super
and
cool.
no. Maybe except for the bat cloak. They're kind of all compared to the iconography and the general look of the Sylvan Empire. They're pretty ugly.
Okay.
You know, it's like barbarians walking up to like someone in a shiny suit of like plate mail. Not, one looks much more rural, including the girdle.
The ram horn shield. Is there a lot of fur on this thing?
No, there's just there's what's it called? So a normal, so it's a leather shield with a round shield, and usually right where like the hand sits, there's like that metal. There's like that metal pocket.
Right.
And you see the metal pocket on the other side. Around that metal pocket are ram horns that are kind of curved, like the curved ram horns that go like around the ears.
Okay.
So you have like these two ram horns around like the fist of the shield.
Okay. All right. I had another question. Okay. Yeah, I think we make our triumphant return to the village at this
Me
point.
too.
Okay, you guys can get out of bed. You guys are probably lying
Mhm.
on the floor. There's probably only actually no, there are a few beds in here. Although it is a cramped cabin, mostly just meant for sleeping, and yeah, mostly meant for sleeping. You guys can go to the village. Hal, you'll take your
Yeah.
1 point of damage as you as you make it through past the barrier. Eric says he'll meet up with you a little bit later.
Mm.
He doesn't want to be seen sort of like helping you. Um, and you guys can walk into the village. You'll see some looks of, oh, these guys are back.
Oh, real quick, before I went to the village, I freshened up in a river before going in. So I splashed water on my face, got all the dirt off as much as I could. Did my hair a little bit. Shaved. So
Shaved with
tried to
what?
look fresh. My little knife, my little sylvan knife that I spend so much time polishing at night.
Okay. Yeah, you can maybe get like a rough shave on there. You're not gonna be like clean, like you're not gonna be like, you right now, but
I'm beautiful. I'm always beautiful.
you might have a little bit of a small beard.
Well,
Okay.
But you can be, shaven for sure. And you go into the village with Theomore, who's maybe too young to have facial hair. I don't know. Probably not.
oh, he doesn't. He can't grow facial hair. Of course not.
um,
Kind of question is that?
and you guys can go to the village. Nobody's quite. People recognize you, and they're like, "Oh, you're here." Nobody really puts to it's not obvious that you've completed quests, at least to them.
Yeah, I as soon as we get into the village, looking for the name.
Lothugo.
No,
the
no, no.
woman?
I'm looking for the woman's name. know.
Yolana.
Yolana. I start calling for Yolana. Yolana, come to us.
I assume you go into the little village,
I'm going to where she
The
would
hut
reasonably
thing.
be, not just like walking into the
yeah.
shout.
Well,
The
it's
square
a
and
small
be like,
village, but there
"Get
is
over here."
that big sort of longhouse, that village tent slash cabin that can fit the whole village in it, and you can walk in and you call for her. It's the morning. She's busy having tea and talking to one of the village, one of her two apprentices,
Mhm.
and she hushes her conversation to greet you.
I lock eyes with her and give her in a dead serious way, and I tell her, Yolana, your long-awaited, generations in the making prophecy has finally come to fruition. Theomore and I have completed the tasks your patron Mutu has granted, and we have received the boons, and I gesture to the magical items on us. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
She's, while holding her tea, she drops it. The ceramic breaks on the hard ground. It's still made of dirt, but it's a hard dirt. It breaks. Is this true? Oh, we must call everyone. We must call and verify that this is true.
If you wish, I could lead you to Mutu's cave myself.
Please.
but I'm afraid he is no longer there.
Well, he's always been there for as long as I can remember. Let us go.
With the turning of the days, some things change, unfortunately. However, I think this is an indication of a new chapter for your people. So I sort of take. I don't want her to take the lead. I sort of insert myself into gathering everybody up and leading everybody to the cave.
A lot of people are going to be out of the village right now, but you can gather people.
All the important people.
Well, it's mostly. I mean, it's mostly the important people are like her. Maybe like the man that helped bring you over to her, but also she will tell the girl that she's with, go and get your sister, and the girl will leave, come back in probably like 2 minutes or something, 2 minutes or so, and they will escort the lady, the old lady Yolana, to the cave. They're much like slower than you in terms of walking. You're walking at like quarter movement speed all the way to the cave. It takes a while, but it's about give or take 30 minutes to an hour of a walk there to the cave and back at their pace. But they'll gather the 3-4 of them, anyone else who wants to come their way. You can lead a few steps forward, then you have to look back and like, oh, these guys are taking forever, but it's okay. You're strong in your will. And you can get to the cave, and Mutu is not there. It's empty. The platform has the burnt crisps of the animal bodies resting. No sign that Mutu has ever lived here. No fur, nothing. Mutu is gone. Our guardian is gone.
I gesture to the pile of ashes and I say, the hard fought for offerings Mutu demanded, placed upon and burned by us. Your guardian is
Open the
gone.
portal. Would you step through?
Well, if Mutu is gone, we agreed in the prophecy that we will follow our next 2 guardians. I assume, since you 2 are the ones who did this quest and you're both alive, you 2 are clearly our prophets.
If you will.
Well, let's go back to the village and tell everyone. Let's get a festival going. And then we'll wait on your wishes.
Right.
What is it that you ask of us? What journey do we take with you?
That is a decision, a discussion to be had after the celebrations. For you have been waiting, your people have been waiting for so long. We cannot rush things. We must take things slowly and enjoy them. Come, let's feast.
She tells one of the men to run along and let people know that Mutu is gone. The prophecy is completed, and we shall hold a festival in the name of Halifax and the name of Theomore. and the man will run off ahead. And you guys can walk slowly back to the village.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys make your way back, you have the girls asking each of you questions. The ones, they're mostly asking Theomore, one of them is asking Theomore about his tattoos and his spells and how, what have you gained from your powers? Because they're not entirely sure themselves.
I'll demonstrate by throwing a jet of flame out into the sky with
Burning hands?
burning hands. I
Okay,
will,
give me your system shock check.
Yeah, of course. I pass.
Yep.
I haven't failed a single one so far. Not the worst.
Yeah. So you cast your spell, which you're not getting XP for. But
It's a cool display.
it's a cool display.
I feel like it serves a purpose. It solves a problem. Answers a question.
Sure.
Wait, if you were to walking by somebody in like a town and you were to use burning hands on them, would you get experience for just random murder?
Probably not.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It has to.
Spells
There
to
has to
overcome a
be
problem.
some
The person
kind of
was-
threat for like some kind of good reason for experience to be had. You can't just be like casting spells every day at like and then just being like, oh yay, like I level up. Like, that's not really how the system works.
I was gonna say that it would make sense why like an evil wizard would want to kill a bunch of people. Like why an evil wizard would be evil? It's to get a lot of experience from killing people using a bunch of spells.
Well, I mean,
But that's
in
sort of an
theory,
in-gamey.
in theory,
metagamey sort of-
wizards actually gain a lot of their research from their studies, not necessarily from combat. Like, there can be non-combat, like high-level clerics and high-level wizards.
Right.
And
Oh,
that's
right.
purely from their study and from their devotion, like respectively.
Right.
So we use this as a bit of a way to gamify experience, but we're all like, clearly there has to be a good, and that's my discretion, a good use of the spell. Usually that's why I'm like pretty good with giving it to you in combat purposes. Usually, yep, fine. But if it's like a non like if you guys are like level 10 and you come across like a group of bandits who are all like level 1 creatures, like I might not even give it to you at that point, because there's clearly no threat that's to be had. And there could even be situations where you guys are robbed, but we're just gonna like overlook it and like we don't even mention it ever. It's just like these are just things that happen. Like a guy might try to come up and mug you, but it's not worth like bogging down like for gameplay roleplay purposes.
Well, we wouldn't let them get away with it if they tried.
Sure, like that's why we
True.
do these things like for the first
Yeah.
time to see how you react, and then we kind of assume that you have like similar situations that happen, and you deal with them in similar manners that aren't like worth noting. Anyways, you fire your flames up into the sky, the fire coming out of the slits in your hands. Actually, I believe it's just one hand that it
Yeah,
comes out.
I reach up one hand into the sky,
Yeah.
and a jet of flame will spray
Mhm.
for a little bit.
In theory, if you lose that hand, you lose that spell. But
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah.
I'm not planning on losing it.
Yep, totally good. And the two girls will whisper to one another, and they'll be amazed by your powers.
Oh yeah.
Wait, sorry,
Finally
did you
getting
guys
the
say you're
recognition he
wearing your
deserves.
new armor and stuff? Everything but the web feet?
No. So Eric has the boar,
Yeah, aside from
Thing.
him, you guys
and then I'm wearing the bear and the shield. The bear thing and the shield, and
And
he's
the
wearing the
shield.
bat.
Okay.
I'm wearing some wonky gloves and a cloak. But I had a cloak before. just another color.
Mhm. Okay. Well, you guys can walk back to the village. They'll ask you they'll ask you how Hal as well about the quest, the task that you were given, what you guys had to do. They'll ask you all about it. Are you telling stories to them, or are you what do you tell them? Well, this is also to Halifax as well.
Yeah, because Theomore would remain pretty quiet.
Mhm.
Like, he would answer direct questions, but he wouldn't go into like detail. He'll let that go for. He'll let Halifax take that over. Because in his mind, he's the evil leader of the two. He will lead them into war, which he is planning on doing. So it checks out. But like, yeah,
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah.
How?
What exactly are they asking me? Like, what are the specifics of their questions?
Um, they're like, uh, what, what was your task? It must have been super hard if, uh, people, if all the people that have come before you have died while on this task. Um, were, did you guys, face terrible enemies? Did you,
I hold up a hand as they're talking and say, "All in due time. All in due time."
they,
The tale will be revealed at the feast tonight to the
they
entire village.
sort of like silence themselves and like move back behind you and sort of like hypothesize amongst themselves about what could have happened. Um, but you can hear like their hypothesis and it's like super far off, because it doesn't even seem like they're very well versed in like different creatures. They kind of like talk about monsters in a very abstract sense, like not like, oh, like a goblin or a dragon. They're like a beast with with like three tails, and or it's like, oh, like you see that scar like on him, like the from maybe like the like maybe a bruise that you got from an ape, like they must have been like struck down by a tree, and they say these like wild stories to themselves. um
Also carrying a giant egg with us.
Are you just carrying
So
it like this?
probably, yeah,
You're just um
holding it
it might get
ceremoniously. But
cold.
yeah,
Are you worried about it?
I think
it'll
I
be
think we
wrapped
would
up.
have told Eric to take care of it since he's not here anyways.
No, wouldn't we want to take it into the city?
Um,
This is
I'm afraid these people will want to eat it. I guess so.
No,
We'll just tell them not to.
we're their leaders now.
Yeah,
Mm,
true.
yeah,
okay.
I think Theomore being in this town again and seeing all these people again is a little bit reliving the trauma of that horrible tattoo session, and is probably a little more quiet because of that too.
Hmm.
But
One
so
of the
yeah, he's
girls, she was the one who gave it to you. She was the
hmm.
one who would have painted these on you. So
It's an
I don't know how
animosity
you feel
towards
about
the
her, feel
entire
about the
city.
two of them.
And them in particular don't really care so much about Yolana. Theomore doesn't really trust her, and but it's kind of like seeping in and affecting his view of the whole city, I think, or of the whole little village.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys make it back to town. People have heard the news. Not maybe not everyone quite yet. There's still people running around. And there is a cheer. There are gasps. There's anticipation. Um, you guys can be taken to the longhouse. It's still the morning, so people are starting to prepare. People are butchering pigs right now, and they're killing chickens. People are preparing to put on a feast for the village.
Hmm.
but that takes hours. So they're getting the fires going. They're getting the spit roasts going. People are, just
Yeah.
running around the village, getting things together. Some are going to the gardens, bringing back flowers. Some are praying. This center longhouse is also used for prayer, so it's actually quite. People are sitting down and it's quite quiet. If you guys wanted to have this conversation, you could do it while people are praying. Part of you thinks like, oh, maybe we should make some announcement outside or something. People are,
Theodore would want to walk around and take stock of the city or of the village.
Yeah.
Like how many people, how many horses. He would specifically go around and count horses.
Yeah, how many horses? There's one horse, and it's a shit. No, I'm kidding. That would be.
Don't you dare.
There would be. There's a lot of horses. It's just none of them want to give it to you. Well, they didn't want to give it to you. They didn't. Sorry.
Yeah.
They didn't. There's about a horse per every grown. It's almost like a 1-to-1 for adults, for horses.
Jesus Christ! All right.
Wait, are these guys like the Dothraki? Oh my god.
We're
gonna.
Not. I mean, sure. If you want to make that comparison, sure. In the terms of horses,
They're gonna be trained into it.
There was, as I think Arik maybe or somebody would have told you, I think, or it was kind of an off comment. I do remember saying this though, but there is a sort of coming of age moment for all of them, and they go out to the wilderness with their horse, and they go and survive. And
they're horse people.
Yeah, and so every adult would have a horse that they take care of. Now, to be fair, that horses do get old and they do die, so there's maybe a few less horses they would try to keep up so everyone has their own horse that they use, but that number fluctuates for sure. There are plenty of fields in this area. If we remember on the map, we are right here in this area, and once you get out of the forest, there's plenty of fields for the horses to go and graze. They can go out as far as they need to graze, and they'll eventually come home. There aren't really any saddles. There are some, because they're not really fighting on these creatures. They're not going out and riding. A lot of these horses are used for labor, such as plowing fields and such. There's also not a huge use for using horses to go from area to area, because the people here stick close by. They're protected by the magic wards that protect the city and that deal 1 damage to Halifax every day. Or every time he comes in. Oh, actually, I guess you're down 2 HP, by the way, so you can take another HP off your...
Oh, true. Yeah.
So you just have to be a little bit careful about exiting and entering the village. So there are plenty of horses.
Perfect.
When it comes to
I look for the
village
finest one.
size, the finest one.
Yeah. Or a fine horse, Doesn't have to be the finest one, but...
Well, so a lot of these horses, like I said, belong to people. Now there are young and unclaimed horses that these might be more appropriate for you. You can find... Well, I don't want to necessarily roleplay every single situation, but you can find somebody with extra horses, and you can go up and talk about, using it. And this is after everyone's made well aware of that. You
Yeah.
guys have come back. This could be like hours later, and you don't necessarily go and go up and see every horse. They'll bring a horse to you. They'll say, no, just rest. We'll bring you one, and you can rest. The girls can put their ointments on you, and to heal some of your scars. Are they actually effective? Who knows? But a horse can be brought to you. And if Halifax, if you ask for a similar horse, they can both bring you these adolescent but fully grown horses.
All right. Are they fully broken in and everything?
No. Most of the horses are, I want to say they're untrained, but that's where like the bond with the person comes from. So they're not like super nice. You kind of have to be the person handling them to make use of them. It's a relationship. Similarly, when it comes to your steed as the paladin, you could try to claim this horse, and that's totally acceptable. But you might have to go through more like trials and tribulations to actually make this horse your steed. There might be some growing, and same with you also, Theomore. There may be some growing pains that these horses aren't, 100%. Even though they're fully healthy, they might not be 100%. They might not listen to everything you say, especially without like your animal handling checks and stuff.
I have horseback riding, so.
Yeah, I mean that'll definitely help when it comes to like the riding part. I just mean in really like breaking them into being in that relationship with you.
It'll take a while, but that's fine.
But
cool.
Specifically for Halifax and this being your steed, there's like a higher threshold to that. Now again, this could be a time thing, but your steed doesn't have to be a horse. This could just be a horse that you like,
Yeah, I don't know if I want to have this horse be the steed, my paladin steed. Hal's probably not even aware of the steed thing. I think we'll approach it more organically. So like if he meets something or if he comes across something that is that he feels is the steed, and it could be this horse. If he has a good connection with it, if like the rules for training it on it are really good, for example. But it could be like a separate quest or something else. I'm not sure. Or like another horse or.
I'm still thinking the giant eagle.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that we'd have to wait for it to age, like a year.
Yeah, it would be about a year, for it to be fully grown.
Well, maybe if we fast forward, I don't know. That's something that we could do that.
Like I told you a while ago, we can always time skip. We might miss important moments. I mean, when we get to important moments that I have. Okay, I don't actually have them marked in the calendar, but I know they're coming. When important moments happen, we will stop for those, so that you don't miss out. So you guys could ask to time skip 6 months, and I'm like, okay, but this thing happens in 3 months, and we have to deal with it. Okay.
Sure. Can my horse be black? Can my horse be black? Or do you have to randomize that?
They will bring you. Honestly, most of these horses. Well, I actually don't know how horses can like have children be different colors, right? Or is it like is the pattern a genetic thing?
Of course, it's genetic to some component. Yeah. What I'm saying is you could go through all this annoying math to try to figure out what most of these horses are and then like roll a die, or you can just let me have a black horse.
Well, in my headcanon, most of these horses are a brown beige, like a color.
Yeah.
So they're on the lighter end of the spectrum, but they're not white. There's some that will be like very like beige and very like close to white. There'll be and many of them will have like their spots on them. But they're in the brown spectrum, the light brown spectrum.
Sure.
Um,
And a really white horse would be cool too.
but the one that's delivered to you is a clean beige horse. Let's see if yeah, something like, let me just see if I can copy this image. This is going to be the typical horse. Let's put it in the SOS chat. This is going to be the typical horse that you spawn.
Oh, okay. He's cool. Like him.
Yeah. So,
He's got little socks on.
Halifax, you can be, and this is quite, this is going to be quite fitting. You can be brought one, so one has the black mane, and then one has the white mane and the white tail. So these can be the two horses that are brought in front of you. Now, technically, either of you could, swap. Like, oh, I want this one, and you guys could swap. But one hand delivers Theomore, the dark mane one, and the same man he'll be bringing both. Will hand deliver you the white mane.
Is it a mare or stallion?
We can roll for sex right now. One is, I believe, XX, or one is usually woman, and two is usually man. I think that I do. So roll 1d2 or 1d20 or whatever. Odds are going to be woman, mare, or whatever.
Oh, you want me to roll for it?
Yeah, do it. I don't. Okay.
It's stallion.
No. Isn't stallion man? One is mare.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. It's a mare then. Yeah.
Evens are stallions.
I'm not gonna roll HP until I take damage.
Until
it takes damage.
1d2, 1d20, whatever. Odds are gonna...
Is it /R or R/? I can never remember.
/R.
/R.
Both
mare. Okay, I name, as soon as I get it, I name her Shaitan.
Shaitan.
Mm-hmm.
Like Satan.
It's the name of a horse that I had when I was a kid, or
Really?
my family had when I was a kid.
Oh, that's great.
She's a bitch, so they named her Shaitan.
Where is my? Okay, I just have to open you up.
I don't have a name for my horse yet, and I'm gonna think about it.
Horse name. Is
It
there
only
a
took 20
proper
seconds.
spelling you want for this, or can I just?
I think it's spelled with an I instead of a Y. I'm not sure.
I did this, but you can.
Let me see. I think it's an Arabic Satan. Yeah, it's spelled with an I instead of a Y. So Shay.
Is there an apostrophe there or no? Between the I
No,
and
I don't
T?
believe so.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you can have Shaitan be your white mare horse, or white mane horse. White mane, beige. Yeah. Okay. Both of these will be young and healthy. I don't know how fast horses age, but once they hit that,
Are
like,
these
early...
riding horses or light war horses or?
These would be riding horses.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, they would be fed as much as they'd like, but they're not necessarily trained to be war horses. Like, they don't. They're more like riding horses in terms of personality. So we're just gonna keep them as riding horses.
Sure.
I also don't really like how there's different stat blocks for the two. It's mostly a personality thing. I mean, to be fair, I guess you get all the strong horses to be the war horses, but
a light war horse for some reason has less HP than a normal riding horse, I think.
Oh, yeah, maybe
Something
because it's
silly
like
like that, too.
smaller or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so these are your horses.
I take the bridle for Shaitan, and I try to gently pet her, or like introduce myself. So I let her smell my hand, and then I start trying to introduce myself by just like gently petting her.
These two just have ropes around them, just like lassos. But
Okay.
yeah, you can pet. I guess we don't have like an animal handling check. Failure doesn't mean you're bitten or anything. But let's get some animal handling checks.
I have horse riding. Don't want to ride. I don't want to roll anything that has to do with my wisdom, please.
You can give me an animal handling plus like 2 or something, or plus whatever. I just want to see the numbers. You know, this isn't like I'm not saying they hate you. This is just a first impression sort of thing. Both
Can I
of
roll
you.
a horseback riding? Because I that's a +3 and it's slightly better, and I
I'll just
really
give
need
you
it.
a regular +3, but you can get half your wisdom. Both of you. Animal handling checks.
I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what that means. What am I rolling?
Give
1d
me half your
20
wisdom.
plus.
Give me half your wisdom check.
So what? What is
I
my?
feel like this is a horse,
It's a
and
horse.
I
Yeah,
want I don't want to roll with half my wisdom. That's a
just
+3.
do it.
It's not.
Just do it. I just want to see it. I just want to see how amazing.
Rounded up or rounded down?
You can
Yes!
Oh
round up.
my god!
Suck it.
What do you mean? I'm just here to.
You wanted me to fail. I know you wanted me to
No,
fail, but I
I
didn't.
know. No, I know you're likely to fail. I don't want you to fail. I just want to see.
Oh my
if
god!
anything special happens.
Shows
No,
you,
I'm good.
Nick. He crushed it.
Sorry, I just got excited.
Can I get both of yours? Halifax.
Yeah. So wait, rounded up or rounded down?
You can
Because
round
mine's
up
13.
for this.
Okay. All right. Dang it. Oh man.
Well, yeah. Oh wait, but did I say? Oh no, you don't have any training though, so yeah, no pluses on this.
What,
I
he
have
has horseback
horseback
riding,
riding.
right?
Oh, you have
Yeah.
horseback riding, then you can get your
Yep.
+3 on there as well.
Yes. All right.
But we're not giving you like the full wisdom bonus. Well, both of you pass. One of you does incredibly well considering the circumstances. And these horses take a liking to you. You feel they're gentle. They're they listen to you. They're not scared. You guys are outside of the tent at the moment. They don't have their saddles. They don't have any saddles, like I said. They just have their ropes tied around them. But you can grab the rope and. Well, I don't think you're going anywhere, but you can make this transfer of rope easily, and they will respect the transfer. And they won't pull away. They might, they're horses still. They will, there's probably some, grass in the area, although it's a fairly, some like dry grass, and they'll, just eat away at it, some of it, and you can pet them. But yeah, this confrontation goes well.
It does.
Sorry, there's nothing special for the nat 20. It's just
We are best buds. Not quite, but
yeah, not quite. But you're doing well. You're doing well.
it's an understanding between
It's
us.
a very good first sign, and you know what? Maybe this is fate. Maybe these are the horses that are meant for you. Okay, well, you guys, we can go to the festival. I don't know how much you want to go through it, but we can. I'll just try to see if there is a festival thing. But yeah, what are you guys?
I think we'd probably want to have some like a little bit of time to ourselves where we sneak away and just like chat about our plan.
Okay. Yep, you guys can find your own place. People will constantly be going up to you and like asking for blessings from like the both of you. They'll ask you like, "Oh,
Sure.
here's my baby, please, like, please."
Yeah.
Is this
I kiss the babies.
you kiss the babies?
I
I
bless the
don't
babies.
kiss the babies.
You bless them. Theodore holds a baby and it's just like, I have an egg in my hand. Here, take this. We're also heading
I
into
probably wouldn't
spring,
hold a
so it
baby,
is
but,
getting warmer. So yeah, just
Okay.
At some point I'll like, drag Hal into a tent or something like that. Sit him down and say, "So, we've done it. What do we do?"
Well, what do we do? This is an interesting time in our lives, isn't it, Theomore?
Hmm.
We seem to be at a crossroads. There,
Crossroads?
yeah, life is full of them. Some are
Hmm.
more noticeable than others. Tell me. I lean back in my chair. And I think I don't have my shield or my armor or anything on.
Yeah.
you did
So,
say you did bring it though.
we did bring it, but it's like with some trusted people.
It's
Or
probably in
it's
our
like,
tent or something like that. Yeah.
You guys don't really have a tent here. I mean, I can give you one. You just haven't been given one yet. You guys have been staying at Eric's place most of the time.
Yeah, we might have put it in like Yolana's hut or something like that.
Yeah, like there are some cots like there are some places like in the main hut. Like the main hut has like those back rooms like where Theomore was resting in the ice bath.
Mm.
But you guys can and there's some like areas to sleep there, but like some back rooms to sleep there, but there's not really like
Sure.
your own tent or cot.
Nick, what's the alcohol situation in this town? Is there any hard liquor, or is it just like mead?
Yeah, if anything, there would just be actually, no. There's not a lot of alcohol in the region. There's actually more so like drugs, like chewing leaves and like chewing tobacco and stuff like that. Very like kind of like primitive cocaine. Not primitive, like, but non
Like coca leaves?
like
Yeah.
not yeah, like coca leaves and stuff that you would chew on and get energy from.
Okay, they don't even. They have horses. They don't even have like fermented what?
Grapes.
Fermented mare's milk. I remember hearing or reading about that from some book.
Well, not this place. Maybe some other place does, but
Damn, no alcohol in the whole place.
they have drugs. What do you want?
Do they? Okay, is it like peyote too? Is it actually like cool stuff besides just cocaine?
Wait, what do you mean? Cocaine's so cool. No. Okay.
Yeah, but not in cocoa leaves. It gives you like a little bit of a numb feeling in your mouth, or whatever.
No, it does give you energy.
Or okay,
Yeah.
energy. Do they have like get yourself out of your mind?
They'll also have
shit?
like some like weed and like appropriate stuff. So you can either have your depressant or your energy. You have like your.
What about hallucinogens? Like, do they have
No.
ayahuasca? They're tribal people.
Ooh, this is a good question. Do they have
Peyote?
ayahuasca?
Mushrooms?
Uh, the funny thing is like, because I'm kind of like using this place as like a place like I kind of also just like went to like a few weeks ago. And it's like they totally do have ayahuasca there. So I'm like, good call out. You know, let me just do a little roll here.
You're making Theomore into a cocaine fiend. I'm just having you know this is on you.
Cocaine eagle.
Because he will be chewing on
Yeah,
coca
sure, they
leaves.
have it.
What?
they'll have some tea, but that will really only you won't actually know about it until later. Um, this this partially comes because it's also more ceremonial. This would be part of the spirit walk that they and like the adventure walk that they go out with their horse. They would take these drugs, be led by the horse into the woods, so that they become lost, and they're on and or not partially lost, but so that they can't come back easily. And so they go out, they're led, and then they make their way back over the course of like a week or so. Um, they know, and it wears off after a while. But this, they could give you this, but it's kind of a ceremonial thing.
Yeah,
And
that's
you kind of
that's-
already went off into your adventure, so it's one of those. There, one person floats the idea. You ask somebody, it's like, oh, hey, do you have this? And one person like floats the idea, like, oh, maybe when we go back to your village, we just put you on ayahuasca and call that your spirit walk, and you just come behind us and walk behind us, or something. Somebody floats that idea around. You can do that. If you want to be more persistent with it, you can. It's just.
Yeah, I will.
Sure.
But it
We're
wouldn't
in
be a
this
good
tent.
for a conversation for right now. So I push some peace pipe on Theomore. Say, here, try this. This is great. They don't
No.
have this in Sylvan. Try it. No, seriously. Just
I have all I need here with the leaves.
I'm trying to
It
get
won't dull my
Theomore
senses down.
to wind down a little bit. Well, I'm smoking it, and I'm filling up the goddamn tent. I'm doing the clam bake and everything in the tent here for you.
Yeah.
So I lean back, I relax a little bit. I don't have any of my gear on me, and I say,
By the
"Oh,
way, some drugs, like the depressant ones, are banned in the Sylvan Empire because they make people lazy.
of course they are."
Although the coca leaves aren't, so. Or well,
Yeah, of course
I
not.
mean, not necessarily that
Would
they've
they-
imported any of this stuff, but like
Yeah.
depressants and stuff like that. That's not like alcohol. Stuff that makes people lazy is those kinds of drugs are banned. Hallucinogens are also banned. Because there are real monsters, and people freaking out about like monsters is like not a good thing. So you don't want to be setting a lot of false alarms. So hallucinogens are similarly banned.
Mm. Me being high on cocaine, would that help my character in combat at all? Surely it must.
horse marching
Better
maybe.
to hit.
It might make you feel like you're better. Maybe I can give you a false +1 where you're like, yeah, you get a +1. I'm not counting.
Perfect, that's all I need. I do want a +1 though.
It's like, yeah, maybe your perception of dealing damage and stuff is higher, but it's not actually higher.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, it does give you energy. Maybe it'll give you a little bit to like a con check or something. But higher than that.
Oh, just staying awake. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, staying
you were
awake,
saying.
staying, like just up and ready to go. It might
Sure.
give you a +1 or +2 to con check if you take it.
Mm. So how was saying something?
Yeah. How's trying to make you do drugs?
Peer pressure.
This is true.
I am making him do drugs just by breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. The Theomore won't realize that because 5 whiz.
So you were quite the white lily when I first met you. You were there was an old term that I used to have in back with the people I used to run with in Sylvan. You seemed a little bit straight edge. You still seem a little bit that way. How does it feel having thrust upon you this, and I gesture to maybe some of the tattoos poking out from your sleeve or something, or underneath your shirt. And I say, that's quite a bit of a difference from maybe the stock you came from.
Perhaps.
Does it mess with your idea of where you are and where you're going?
I don't think my mission has changed,
Why not?
but maybe my mm, opinions about how we go about that mission. We are to
Opinions.
bring Ryland under control.
Yeah. For
Anything.
whose benefit?
Feel like because the Empire says so. Does it matter? Because we want the criminals gone. Because we want to put the noble's head on a spike.
Getting rid of the criminals. It's
You
a
pick your
worthwhile
reason.
goal.
Sure.
But in the end, what does it matter? When we take this for the Empire, a distant, bureaucratic entity that has no real bearing on the lands here. What is our purpose with this? What kind of
I'm a
higher
cog in a
calling?
machine.
Ha! I am no cog. Neither are you. And I say, pulling back his sleeve and gesturing. This is not this is not what a cog looks like. This is an agent of change.
Be change or not, you're doing someone else's bidding, aren't you?
Maybe in the end we all do other people's bidding. Even the most independent king, I suppose, serves his people and the gods. The most
Hmm.
the most lost adventurer, I suppose, serves some gods in some capacity. It's not about serving people. I don't mind serving people. I just want to be able to see and feel and touch the people I serve, or the things that I serve.
Hmm.
If
Can't say I have
we,
such aspirations myself, but
what are your aspirations? Being the cog in the wheel that grinds down the people of Gallon?
I'm not sure my aspirations are relevant. Might makes right after all. What greater might is there than the Empire?
That remains to be seen. Look
Have
at
you ever seen anything that can, you know, that can go up against it?
yes. Look at the power you've been granted. Look at the power that we've been granted today. It may not be accessible, it may not be overt, but it is there for the taking.
Mm.
You have become a more powerful wizard than I have seen, which doesn't say
Mm.
much, but you have jumped in capability uh, faster than anything I would imagine you have seen in terms of
Do
your
not
ability to cast spells.
do not get me wrong. I'm aware of my power and my frustration with Lady Sypha and her, well, inability to act in a matter that would help our situation is palpable. But what do you wish to do about it? You can't kill her. You can't take over her position.
Why not?
Because while she individually might be weak, what she represents isn't. What would the Empire do if we were to kill her and take over the state? the
It doesn't-
city for ourselves.
It's not real. It's an invisible power. It's the power that we grant them until they are here upon our shores, the shores of Galen,
Which they would be. No.
and we would deal with it with the power that we have found hidden in this land. This
For what?
barbarian tribespeople. These barbarian tribespeople have granted you immense glyphs upon your skin. I have been risen from the dead, so to speak, multiple times. I have encountered many powerful things hidden. We released a dragon. I don't know what that means, but it seems like every step that we take here, we uncover the power that you claim to respect, the power from the distant empire. But it's here. It's something that we can see
I
and
suppose.
respect.
And while it is true that I don't think a single force in the city of Rhineland can match us, you're eager to shake the bonds of the Empire. I think you're not thinking of the consequences. But suppose we go there, we assert ourselves. Lady Sif is alive. She'll write back to the Empire about our transgressions. It frustrates me that no matter how powerful we become, her incompetent swordsmanship is still in charge.
I agree. I think we both are of the mind, at least, that Lady Sypha needs to go. However, Sylvan is not the kind of power that takes kindly to people taking the initiative, taking things into their own hands. So if we were to move against Sypha,
This is
I think
technically her expedition. I mean, sure, she's been sort of told what to do, informally. But this is actually her, like, she has, like, full governing power over, like, this task, I'll say.
She's doing a shitty ass job at it.
No, she is. She clearly is. Like, she was like, hey, I want to go off and do something, basically. Like, I want to prove myself. And then, you know, her parents got her in touch, and, you know, they ended up sending her to this place. So, you know, she was kind of like, and she was given the list of people to get, you know, as we went over before you guys left.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if it's not her that's leading this, then you guys can just kind of go back. Like, you know, you guys are, you know, if she's gone, you guys just go back to the Sylvan Empire, and, you know, like, task's over, you know?
Well, the city here still needs a leader, right?
I mean, yes and
Or-
no. I mean, this was only, like, this isn't, like, there's no higher-ups that, like, are legally in charge of this, or who give a shit about any of this. Like, from like, a legal point of view, from an organizational point. Now, there might be someone pulling strings or something behind the scene, but there's nobody who has their name on this task except for Sypha.
But surely there is someone else who is missing the tax money right now.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, somebody might come see this. There's a lot of incompetencies, you know. The person who's doing the banking just might not care to report this thing. Like, it's like, this is like a
We are
frivolous amount of
noticing
money.
this.
You know, they're making way too much money to care. They're living in downtown, you know, Sylvan Empire. You know, what do they care about one? Remember, when Sypha came here, like, she thought this was under control. Like, so nobody knew that the bank the mine wasn't actually in real operation. She thought it was in operation until she actually came down here with you guys, you know, episode to or whatever, or realizing that it's not the case. So, I mean, she can just be what do you call it, like a figure piece. Like if you want to just like don't give a shit about what she says, like we can get there when we get there. I'm just saying, from your bureaucratic knowledge, if she's not here, there's literally no reason to care. This is a pet project that you're kind of like that you've been thrown into, as you've kind of realized. Now, that doesn't mean you can't follow orders. I mean, if you guys like abandon ship and, you guys can still be like you're still under like martial law or
Sure.
military law. So, you know,
Yeah.
take that as you will.
Well,
Picture this,
You're-
Theomore. Oh, sorry,
Mhm.
go ahead.
No, you go.
Picture this, Theomore. You, from the events of the past few weeks, you have been set up to one day become the Archmage of Galen, the most powerful mage in the land. That power could one day be yours. The mysteries of this place, the wilderness of it all, hides, I'm sure, more spells, more secrets that you can uncover that are waiting for a wizard such as yourself to uncover. And you can never uncover that as long as you're recording every single spell that you cast to tell somebody, some higher up, some bureaucrat that you don't even know, so they can make sure to keep a short leash on you.
You can disappear. You can go away, and people can pretend that you die, and no one will hear from you. If I disappear, well, let's just say that the college has a vested interest in recovering their assets.
Assets that are worth recovering. If the risk is too high for them to recover, tell me, how does it feel knowing that you are a recoverable asset? Is that something that you wish for yourself for the rest of your life?
Never thought about it.
There are things that I think we must consider moving forward. However, I don't want bloodshed. I don't wish ill on Lady Siren. I wish her well. I also wish her out of the way. I think when we return...
Well, we go with your plan or your proposed action, or perhaps just your proposed outcome. Many heads will roll. Lady Sypha's included.
Potentially.
You were saying when we return?
I think there are things that we must do to secure the town first, such as dealing with the Black Bronzes. They are an element that I do not wish to work with.
No. They shall be exterminated.
Yes. And then I think we
Then-
should deal with Lady Siren.
Very well.
If it comes down to it, we will not... I do not believe we should be taking orders from Lady Siren any longer. However, I think we should delay the appearance of that. Delay our insubordination until
not
after the Black
incompetent.
Bronzes.
I know the chain of command.
Excellent.
Very well.
This is treasonous, by the way. I just want to let everyone.
Yeah, of course it
No,
is.
I know. I want to make sure you guys recognize the depth of like what you have just said. It's
Riot
not
tinning
only
may be
it's not only
literally-
treasonous. or it's not only like against like the state, it's also like against like a high noble. So but
Sure, but this is
obviously the
essentially what Riot's
the
Penning
yeah.
told us to do a long time ago anyways. This
Yeah,
is
well,
just the same thing. Yeah.
yes and
All
no.
right.
I mean, the people in Galan might not see eye to eye with the Sylvan Empire, so they might not care if they're treasonous. So, you know,
And they will, yeah,
so
they will face the boot of the Sylvan Empire. I will not be disrespected anymore. I will, yeah, never mind.
Theomore, tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And I blow some smoke in your direction, some more smoke.
Wave it away.
Tell me,
Ineffectively.
what is the highest station you could possibly hope to accomplish uh, in the Sylvan Empire?
I don't know.
It is a country governed by bureaucrats and nobles. All of the territories have been charted, at least in the mainland. Cities dot the whole place, stinking. And the rest of it is farmland and roads. Here, uh, much less civilization, less control, more opportunities to take control.
I will admit that I prefer the city, but I also prefer a city where people aren't insubordinate.
Do you
People
prefer
bow down.
something that you can? What if you could build a city in which people bow down to you rather than bowing down to others?
I don't think Theomore would give that an answer, but it's just he's thinking.
well,
Okay,
Hal maybe finishes his probing, or maybe he continues, but
Do you want to make me a charisma check real quick?
I'll
contested,
make you a charisma check.
contested.
Brilliant. No, no, just like a charisma check.
For a good
35.
one. I
It's
mean, you can't even roll
higher than
that
I
with a
can
net.
physically roll.
Yeah.
No. All right, yeah.
I want to amend a previous comment. Switching notes here.
That's not a good wisdom check.
Switching notes a little bit. The horse comment I made. I take a little bit of it back. Horses. In this place, one person gets their one horse. If that horse dies, then no more horses. I didn't realize that. I thought horses like had the same length age as dogs. No, it's a lot longer.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be which chances are, if you're like 15 or so, a horse lives 30 years and you live to like 45. A lot of people die at that time. So there might be chances where somebody passes away and the horse is still alive or something. Point is, one person, one horse, sort of. I did my little population roll, and we have about 732 people in this village.
That's a lot of people.
Well, I mean, yeah, less than 1,000, but it's not like a hamlet; it's a village.
By medieval standards, a lot.
I don't think so. I don't think it's that little, or I think this is pretty. Yeah. Oh. Like, if people are packed, this can easily fit a town square.
I suppose.
Yeah. So, yeah, so you have, and remember, about like 30% of this population are going to be, actually, wait, I just looked at this, but, about 30% of this population, I believe, are going to be like, or 30 to 40% of this population are going to be children or children adjacent. So like teenagers. So yeah, you're looking at about 40% are children. Yeah. And then there's another good like 10% that are elderly. So you have about a 50% adult population. And then about, generally speaking, just a rule of thumb is about 10% of a population can be any kind of fighting force if they're equipped. So now technically, if it's like total war, you can equip all 50%, but you know, in a generally in a fighting sense, it's a 10%, depending on the customs of the area. Could be less, probably less in this area. So probably closer to like 5%. So yeah.
On that,
All right.
I want to, while we're partying, I want to be like sizing up our fighting forces. I want to be seeing how many obvious warriors, how many potential warriors we could have.
Yeah.
Getting us that.
Clearly, or not clearly, yeah, sizing them up. Sizing's a weird thing because sometimes there's skill involved. It's not purely based off strength, right? We could have like 18 strength, 0 level fighters, right? Slash like 0 level rogues. Like they would get human HP rather than fighter HP. But you can size people up. Yeah, let's like roll for it, I guess. What are we saying? So we have 5%. So let's do some calculator, and I'll write this down in my notes. So we have 732. Okay, we're just gonna divide it in half. So this is gonna be our adult population. Now in our world, we have a fairly egalitarian society, so both women and men can be pooled from, but because of this, we're also just gonna say that a lot of people, just in general. So on average, women are obviously going to be much stronger because they're going to be roughly as strong as men. But also, we're just going to say on average, men are also just going to be weaker, just so like the averages are relative to human levels. So on average, men are weaker and women are stronger. Okay, so I'm gonna say roughly 5% is going to be any type of fighting force, which is really only like 20-ish people. 18 people is my 5%, but give or take 20. Now you can obviously pull from more, but these are going to be like your strongest people. These guys again aren't a huge fighting society, so this is also why the number is a lot lower.
Okay.
20 people capable of...
Are these 20 people actual like warriors, warriors hunters, or are these just like farmers that happen to be pretty strong and of the right age?
It's gonna be a combination of those things.
Okay.
So like one of them is gonna be, I mean, we're gonna take our number 20 and we're gonna say -1 for Eric. So he's definitely like one of them. We're not gonna include, or actually, yeah, in this number, since we use a magic system, we're also including like anyone who's capable of like casting magic or being divine. Fighting force is going to be divided by also people who are like capable of spellcasting.
That's not necessarily determined by age, right? There could be like really old spellcasters and priests and whatnot.
That's true. So, Yolana, she might be somebody capable of fighting, perhaps, maybe not. And I guess she wouldn't count to this number, but there's going to be roughly only a few people. The only possible spellcasters that have been already like picked out have been the 2 girls. Now, can they actually spellcast? Who knows? But they're like candidates, so to speak.
Apprentice material.
Yeah, they are apprentice material.
Do they have any tattoos or no?
No, they're. I don't know if I said this. Maybe
Does
not.
Yolana have tattoos?
You haven't seen. She hasn't disrobed in front of you. For
Thank
Yet.
God.
yet.
Thank fuck. Let's keep it that way.
The girls are not old enough. These
Mm,
girls are like teenager, like mid-teenagers, like 15-ish. I think they're
sure,
twins if I said that, if I was correct.
Yes, you did. Just to add to the creepiness factor.
Yeah, they're
True.
twins. So these girls are both like in the area of like 15. So they're technically part of the non-adult population that I was bringing up.
Mm,
So they don't count in there.
sure.
So yeah, you want to size them up. Yeah, you're gonna get like some strong farmers. You're gonna just get some like strong laborers. You're gonna get some strong. There might be a few other hunters of sorts. Maybe not necessarily. They might not be rangers, so to speak, because ranger is also a very special role, like paladin is. Um, we can roll like a D100 to see if you want to roll like a D100 and get like a 199 or 98 sort of thing. Maybe one of them can be special, but if you want to roll a D100 really quick, but I don't think any of them
Especially
are
in what
good.
way?
Like actually being like a ranger or like a
Oh,
material.
I see.
Pretty
Oh,
high, but not good enough. We already have a Reek who's ranger material, so.
a couple of fighters, maybe.
Mm.
Oh,
Level
yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
level
Some
two?
of these are capable of becoming fighters, 100%. These 18 to 20 are capable of being, like, mostly fighters, some rogues. Pretty much the only spell, like, maybe some
Sure.
spellcasters, but
Mm.
we're looking at
Okay.
mostly fighters and rogues here.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna want to have some
It
bodyguards
also
later.
it
That'd be
leans
great.
it leans towards fighter, so there's probably going to be like a 3-to-1, like you're going to talk like 15 fighters, 5 rogues sort of thing, and if you get lucky,
Mm.
like 1 or 2 spellcasters, but yeah. But again,
Okay.
all the spellcasters have been like sorted, like they've been pre-picked already, so it's mostly these 2 girls. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can size them up.
I want to meet. I want to meet with Yolana
Yep.
during the festivities.
Yeah. You can meet with her. She's going to be a lot of this time. She's just going to be helping people with like their worship and leading their own little prayers. But you can interrupt her at any point.
Rather than interrupting with her, I probably would try to insert myself in like the worship. So whatever she is, like, what exactly is she doing?
Oh no, more like people are like praying on their own, and it's like if they ever like she's just kind of like there for like assurance. And she's doing like her own prayer, but she'll like stop. She'll go through like a routine of like 20 or so prayers, and then like she'll do like
Okay.
one prayer for this, and then she'll stop, and then people might approach her, and then she goes through her second one, and each one takes probably like about 10 minutes or so. So it goes on for a few hours, but like in between, people will stop and people will ask her like this thing, like they'll share their concerns, they'll share their you know
Then what I'll want to do is I'll probably just pray along with the people who are coming in to pray in her vicinity, and I'll pray to Fena.
Okay.
And I will say to Fena privately uh, that I appreciate her guidance and protection along the path that has brought me thus far.
Okay. Giving thanks, yeah.
And then I will apologize to her for what may be to come.
Okay. Let me add that.
And then, yeah, so I think I do that. I spend a couple minutes doing that. Maybe 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. And then I will get Yolana's attention.
Yep. You can get her attention.
I would probably want Theomore to come with me. Would you have come if I said
Yeah.
let's go have a meeting with Yolana?
He doesn't really know what to do with himself, so he'll tag along.
Okay. Um, so I go up to Yolana, and with a big smile, I will say, the festivities are wonderful. Thank you for sharing the fruits of your labor with us. I think there are some things that we should discuss. Should we find somewhere private?
Of course. We can take you to the back room. And she'll take you to the back room where the ice pit is.
Out of character, could we have a break after this conversation?
We can have
Guess
it
I'm
before
really
the
hungry.
conversation.
Yeah, let's do it before.
Ooh,
Let's take
sure.
a quick break.
Maybe like 10 minutes or so. I gotta get something to eat.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
BRB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got really hungry and needed food.
All good. I needed to take a bathroom break as well, so. And then that gave me a good time to take a food break. So, let's get back into game. You want to have this conversation with Yolana. Now, do you want the two girls present? Because they're usually with her. Like, she can tell them to go, F off. But there is this understanding that one or maybe both of these girls will overtake her position when she passes. She's old, like I said, so.
I think they can stay.
Okay. They'll both come. Seem to be thinking on
Are you eating dumplings? Oh, I had dumplings the other night. They're so good. You're lucky.
Oh, they really are.
Yolana, we have need of your people in a town called Rhineland. A few days' journey, maybe a week's journey for everybody. Is it to the east or the west? The west? The northwest?
You guys came this way.
Through the Calling Woods to the northwest. Would you be willing to make the journey? What are your people's goal now that the prophecy has been met?
We have been told from generation down to generation, as you've heard, we will be brought to peace and harmony or to death and destruction. But it will happen, and that we will follow the prophets. So, we will follow and pray that we will be part of prosperity. But even if we were to be brought to death and destruction, that is not always a bad thing. Perhaps our prophecy is but a small puzzle piece in a greater prophecy that is beyond what I've learned and what we've passed down. And so we will go forward with our eyes closed, being faithful to our ancestors.
Okay. So,
But
would you like? Yes.
she kind of interrupts you. That doesn't mean that everyone shares the same beliefs as I do. As we do. The girls like bow when when they're called upon. We there may I cannot guarantee that everyone will be a part of this. But surely our people, we have this tradition. And so they will follow you. Likely for the time being.
Okay. I don't want to disrupt the identity of your people too drastically. Is there any suggestion that you have that we can do for us to make it so the transition for your people is less severe?
Do I? I don't have any stats. Let me give her like some kind of intelligence check. It's probably fine, or wisdom or whatever. Probably high enough. Is your town, your home, is this a place that can accommodate our horses and our people?
Well, recently we've just had quite a few number of vacancies, so yeah, it can accommodate you.
And for the horses?
I'm sure adjustments could be made.
Need a lot of food.
I believe there are plains to the north and woods to the south of Rhineland, as well as plenty of stable spaces that could be converted from existing structures. There's not very many horses already, but that could be changed.
Well, if the horses aren't happy, the people won't be happy.
What is the name for this plain that where's my ping? That we crossed through on the way into Rhineland on the first session?
Like here?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't really name the plane. Well, I guess you're not aware of a plane. It might have a name to it, but
Well, we crossed through. Oh, we don't know the name to it. Okay.
yeah, I don't.
There are plains north of Rhineland by some miles that, if Rhineland is not to the liking of your people, you can always move a few miles, 10 miles north, and the horses should be happy there. There should be plenty of grass, open lands for them to roam. But I think Rhineland should be appropriate for them. There should be enough open pasture for them.
She agrees with this sentiment. That I mean, she's never been to the place, so she, she positively considers it. Is there anything else? The festival is still underway, and
I look over to Theomore, and there is another matter. Theomore and I are, in some respects, representatives of a foreign power in a distant land, from a distant land. Our original task in Rhineland was to ensure its subordination to that distant power. That task is, well, let's just say for now that we answer to those in Rhineland insofar as we are willing to do so. When we get to Rhineland, who are you going to be answering to?
We do not know the people of Rhineland. We know our prophets.
It is
Makes
going to be
sense.
expected that your people follow the will of those who presume to be in charge of your prophets, to be in charge of us. I want you to go along with that supposition as long as we go along with it. However, if there comes a time when we decide that the authority in Rhineland is no longer worthy of giving us direction, would you drop all pretense to listening to them and follow us?
I She'll tell you a story that I probably can't come up with on the spot, but she'll tell you a story. That will be about listening to either like your older brother or your like uncle, and like which one like you end up siding with, some sort of story about which side you take, and at the end of the day, the story is about a child or children who have to choose, and how the children go separate ways, because the brother might have bullied one of the brothers, and so the 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 younger brother would have ran to the uncle, and but maybe the sister wasn't like bullied and loves her brother, and so she followed the brother. And people have their reasons, and they have good reasons to pick sides, even if you're closer with your brother than you are to your uncle. um, Maybe the protection from the uncle is stronger than the blood of the brother. So
How considers this? Theomora and
And you?
I. Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
And you, Yolana? Sorry.
she
Cut you off
laughs.
guard.
She laughs a little bit. I am too old to make this journey. My legs don't work well. My home is here, and I will make it so that the people who are left behind, that we will have our final generation live here. The old and the weak.
Yolana, I will not abandon you here.
I think this is a proper time to hand off my my leadership, or at least my council of the village, to my two apprentices, my two granddaughters. I will make an announcement come the evening of the festival. You guys are...
Yolana, need I carry you on my back? I will not abandon you here. To the ravages of the wild, and you're without any townspeople, any of your family to be near you.
I won't be by myself. Like I said, I'll have a few others here, and we will take down the village together. Take down our protections. Have one last celebration. And do our own spirit walks, our final ones.
What is it that you hope for, Yolana? In your waning years?
That future... The succession of our future generations, and that we keep ourselves alive and well. And I need to... This is a critical time for me to pass the fire on to the next generation.
Very well.
Very well.
Theomore, was there something you were gonna say?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Theomore and I are wanting to know your culture a little bit better. I think also we each have our own spiritual journeys to go on. Is there any aid that you can offer us to journey into the spirit world?
Do you frame it like that into the... Because I just mean this in the sense that there is a spirit plane, and is this what you're talking about? Like, are you talking about spiritual, like, travel, or are you more like talking in the sense of... Do you more like mean this in the sense of, like... You know...
I'm hitting her up for some drugs, is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So,
he's trying to get the ayahuasca.
Oh, I see.
I'm trying to get the ayahuasca. So,
Okay.
however
Wasn't that
I have
obvious?
to.
I wasn't intentional. I wasn't sure if you fully meant like, oh, I'm trying to do some astral travel. okay, or something. I don't know. Sorry, you asked if there's anything to help you do your spiritual journey
And become closer to the tribe and their customs.
They don't... Outsiders isn't the most... They probably have some tradition, but the people would have to be there for a while. But, you know, you guys are kind of exceptional. There is a little bit of precedence.
If she hesitates, I'll just say, I spoke earlier to one of your members of a tea that are offered to those on a journey.
She laughs. She knows what the young people are always up to. Or, you know, she was young herself at one point. And I think she picks up what you're putting down, and you know, she can ask the girls to fetch some stuff.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Tonight we will have a send-off, a proper one, for the village. And we'll have a special... we'll have another ritual take place.
Excellent.
Girls, you need to prepare. And yep. So she, gets off probably like a creaky chair very slowly. She's helped up, and they help walk her to a different room as they begin to prepare for the evening. We can kind of pass a little bit of time. The evening will come. The celebration will be had. She'll give. I kind of want to run through this, not although if you guys want to stop for anything in particular, let me know. She'll make her speech about how you guys are going to travel far distances. You will take yourselves and your horses, and you will move and find a new home just north of the mountains. Some, like the weak and the sick, will stay behind with her. For
take a shitload of drugs.
For a final.
And go on their spirit journeys.
Maybe some, but for one final.
That's what I took it as.
Yeah, maybe. You could also when she says like stay behind, like this isn't like Father Julius moment where she kills all of them. She seems like they're gonna live out one final, like live out the years that they have left here. So if you want to come back, you can, but they're gonna be sick, and some people will die like naturally, probably more quickly. They'll go out, and she will also say that there will be immediately after this presentation. She says that there's going to be another transferring of power to the two girls, and she will begin to line them with tattoos as well. But these look like different tattoos than what you have. So they don't have like the same, like the eye slit and they're similar in nature, but they're not the same.
I get it.
And they will she will begin this process, and they will go through the whole process. You can watch, you don't have to watch. I mean, yeah.
Emer will watch.
Yeah. They're in pain. They're held down, both of them, while they go through the same process. For the sake of plot points, they both pass their checks. Because I'm not killing them off a small chance. They'll both pass their checks. They'll both pass
roll
out,
it, roll it.
And go to 1 HP. And they'll be out of commission for the rest of the night. And they'll both be placed in the ice bath. And the night will go away. You will find your drug dealer. Take your, just you, Halifax. Take your ayahuasca.
No, wait, no. Theomore's coming with me. Absolutely. I am like dragging him to the ceremony.
Oh God.
Oh, this isn't like part of a ceremony. This is like, you find like one of the guys. They hear of news. They invite you over to like a circle that's kind of like it's outside. Like people are around like fires. People have made fires. People are hanging out. People are eating. And you see there's this. There's like this cup going around, sort of thing that everyone like takes some, drinks it, and passes it over.
Hey, Theomore, there's something really cool going on over here. Come with me. Come on, it's chill. It's chill.
Yeah, he fails the willpower check.
So you guys
can't
can
roll
go
worse than that.
and partake.
Wait. So Hal doesn't want to partake as a meme, so he's heard stories of, spooky teas out in the woods before. He's wanting to, before he takes it, he's sort of becomes withdrawn and starts to try and think about and focus on himself, and particularly the nature of his soul. And then he drinks it. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but that's what he does.
Yeah, let me look up one thing. Where's my Pantheon? Wait, do I not have... Oh, no, it's in another document. Do I not have a document for Fina? Oh, I just spell it in 2 different ways like an idiot. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to fix that.
I love it.
Or I think. Maybe I don't. Give me 1 second. I thought I wrote this somewhere. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just try to... so you take yours. Theomore, you take some too.
I do.
Now...
And,
Mhm.
and I don't think he's planning on thinking about anything specific, but I think his mind would naturally wander over to...
Can both of you make con checks, actually?
Oh, yeah.
Any crack that you take before this, any cocoa leaf will not help in this con check, by the way. Just in case.
Doesn't matter. I have great con.
You have great con.
I have huge con.
This was, these are kind of checks to see if your, like, brain or something gets, like, reoriented. Because ayahuasca does some pretty nasty things to your brain chemistry. Which is, it's dangerous. It is clearly like a dangerous drug, which is also why it's banned. What does, I'm gonna be honest. Theomore probably gets less out of it than the cleric here.
Of course.
You get visions. You'll still get visions, and it's hard to tell, after the fact if these were like, if they're real, if they're, if they're just like your mind playing games on you. Maybe there's this kind of like astral plane to it. You see visions of visions of like kind of like forces of nature, like of blizzards and volcanoes and hurricanes, and like you being trapped inside of these, and like they're kind of ripping you apart as this happens.
Should I try to control them? Using my magic, using my mind?
Give me like a wisdom check or something. Give me a wisdom check. I mean, you're in a dream. I mean, let's see how well your dream state goes.
Maybe.
Yeah, you can totally feel you can feel like it feels like your body's being torn from these different like one part is like freezing in a blizzard, but another one's boiling in like lava, and you're kind of finding a bit of, you stop panicking and you start to find calmness in these elements. You get this is where I actually should have opened. You get you see faces in these. You see faces, and you don't really know who they are. But they're not like human faces. These are iconography. Like you see the eyes from like the bubbles of like the lava. You see like the mouth from the when the lava sort of crusts and it becomes like rock. You see like the mouth start to form in there, and then it moves as it's sort of like talking to you. in the and that's from the lava from the hurricane. You hear it's incredibly loud, but you hear whispers to find them in the sky. And then from the blizzard, you hear, or not hear, but you feel like your body is, or sorry, no, you don't. You see that there's that being that looks like it's encased in like a block of ice. As you travel like through a blizzard and you find a cave, you see a block of ice with this similar like face, but it's not a face. It's hard to describe. Again, it's a
And
dream.
it's a lava face.
So yeah, but it's not saying a word, and you ask it. It looks like it's trapped. But that's what
And the whisper said, "Find them in the skies."
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 separate visions: faces in the lava, whispers in the hurricane, and a being encased in ice.
Yep. I'm just writing this down. And
I look up in the dream. What do I see?
these are. It's kind of like, you know, in a dream when you go from place to place. This isn't necessary. Like, you felt it all at once, but then you kind of like go from one place to another.
Sure.
I mean, when you're in the cave, you look up and you see cave, but then, you know, when you're in the lava, I guess you look up. You would have. I don't even know if you looked up necessarily in the lava place, but if you did, you might have just seen the sky. I don't know how much you paid attention. And then in the hurricane, you can't see the sky because you're just, you know, there's clouds and there's storms, there's debris like whirling around you, so can't really see much there. And yeah, so you see that. Give me what proficiencies do you have again?
Let me tell you, my friend.
I don't think you have them, but I'm just gonna.
Riding, horse riding, reading, writing, spellcraft, heraldry, bureaucracy, tumbling, swimming.
Yeah, no, that's all I'm gonna give you.
What were you looking for?
If you want to, I can't say. If you want to, you know, maybe these mean something. Maybe you go somewhere and find any answers.
All right.
Halifax. 1 second. Okay, I can keep going.
Yeah. Do I see any dragons in my visions?
No. No dragons. No other creatures. Part of me doesn't want to just give this extra information just because Hal's on a call right now. Let me think. Maybe.
You can just give me the extra information. That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
Perfect.
That's fine. What is
He
this
doesn't need to know.
You're not a very religious person, but maybe this is the time to become religious. These faces are like primordial. Oh, are you good?
Sorry, yeah, I'm good. I thought I heard my name. I didn't.
These faces and these bodies and they're ancient.
Do I get the feeling that they represent gods?
They might represent Aya, Huo, and maybe Awa, but maybe this is someone else.
Is it Awa and...
These are the gods of sky, water, and fire.
That would make sense, yes.
Yep, but this is your vision. So take it as you
All
will.
right.
Halifax. You said you wanted to go a little bit on a spirit walk. Your body, you clearly can't handle the drugs, the ayahuasca. Your body collapses. People come around.
What? I passed my con save, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Okay.
People, you pass out. You see, or sorry, you don't see, but people come around, just to make sure you're okay. Some maybe are laughing, some are not. Some might find it funny. Oh, the foreigner takes the drugs and they pass out. Ha ha ha. But you know this is happening because you can see it happening in a similar out-of-body experience that you had once before in the church, down in the crypts. You see that the chain that attached your body to your soul is actually it's no longer attached to the place that it once was in your chest, in that hole, in your spirit, in the spirit chest, not your physical chest. These two parts that link you together, as we know, as we've saw previously, they're broken. But the chain is still attached to you, but wrapped around the symbol, the amulet that you are wearing, that is clearly not attached. It's not a tattoo in this realm. Mm-hmm. This is a physical, in this realm, this is a physical necklace that you're wearing that you could take off. Where do you want to go?
Okay, I'm
around
lucid.
And you can sort of see, you don't see color, like I said before. You can, this is kind of like dealing in the ethereal plane, although it's not the ethereal plane. Well, maybe it is. These are tangential planes. The planes come and go. Yeah, you also see Lily in her non-invisible form beside you. She was here before, and you can see her. She is probably the only thing that's likely. No, she probably is not colorful either, honestly. You don't have like the perception to see color, so yeah.
What is Lily doing right now?
Well, Lily's actually just enjoying the festival. She's having her foods, she's having her drinks. She's off doing her own thing. She's not really paying attention to you. I mean, maybe when you fall, she pays attention, but you have she hasn't noticed yet.
Is Theomore still tripping?
Depends. He probably went. Do you think who went first? It probably was you who went first. There's some onset before this stuff goes on, so yeah, he's still tripping. And for all sakes and purposes, you guys are going to be tripping for like some hours, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If I look down, so you said it was an out of body experience, so I can look at my body.
Correct. And you see that's attached to it.
Do I have a hole still? Is there still a black empty hole in my chest?
Yes.
Can I reach into it?
Yeah, but when you reach into it, your hand just kind of goes into the void.
Yeah. Do I feel anything?
No.
Can I stick my head in?
I don't think you have that flexibility.
Okay.
Oh wait, are you talking into your physical, like your spirit head into the physical head?
Yeah.
Into the physical.
Into the physical hole. Oh, you're saying in my spiritual body has the black empty hole, but I'm
both
not
of
seeing it
them.
on my face.
Both of them do. Which is
Okay.
where the chain comes out of. But instead,
Okay.
this one's broken. The one on these ones are broken, and so they're tied around the amulet.
Okay.
Instead.
Then I want to grab the I want to grab the necklace.
Yeah.
And I want to hold it in my hand, and I want to detect evil intent, but I want to use it in a way that is maybe a little bit broader than it's meant to be.
You did
So
this once before, I feel like, or you did something similar. What happened? What was my description when you tried to do evil intent when you were in the spear world?
I don't remember.
Oh, I think it was just because you were in the crypt. Okay, no, never mind. It was all around. That's why. Never mind. You get. So it's one of these things where your detect evil intent isn't like a locating thing. It's so you get a pretty similar readings that you've been getting before, and you can't tell if it's necessarily coming from this thing or if it's coming from you.
Okay. What I want to do then is I want to see if there's any intelligence in this thing. I want to see if there's any intelligence in this thing or behind this thing. I want to know if I'm being controlled by something. Like a god, if I'm under the influence of a god, or like a lich or something.
Yeah, as you start to think about this, your body, with chain in tow, and remember this is a vision, so just if I say anything, it doesn't mean it's actually happening or the rules are the same in a different situation. I mean, they could be real. I'm just saying they're not necessarily. So don't try to argue with me later, okay? I have my reasonings. Your body goes flying at like Mach 5 or whatever. Goes flying through the sky. And you can look down and you see yourself getting farther away from Gallon, farther away from the continent. And your body just goes flying through the sky. And begins to approach a different landmass.
It's
And
Loradel, I bet.
This island is circular in its shape. You can see this from a high point of view, and you can see that there's the island, but there's also a ring of mountains in the center, and you're going directly. I have to actually. There are clearly these massive cities that are. Can you give me like an intelligence check? Can you give me an intelligence check? I also have to look this up for a second.
Intelligence of 9.
Tell me, did you pass or no?
Nope, I did not.
That's fine. I know this is somewhere. I just don't want to. Give me 1 second. So no. You see, there are these like 8 cities that are kind of like in an octagon. There are these 8 cities with a 9th city right in the center. And you can see these because these are huge cities that sprawl out outside of all the all the nature that's within this island. Again, this island is also the size of like a small continent, so it's pretty big. And you go flying to one of these cities. And you go flying towards one of the high towers, and you go through the window and placed inside a room. But the room's like empty. There seems to be, the rocks are cracked. Any kind of art or design that was chiseled into the walls have deteriorated over the years. This place was likely used thousands of years ago, if not tens of thousands of years ago.
Okay. I look around. Is there anybody in the room? Is there anything in the room besides,
Yeah, you look around and you see, I don't know if these would have disintegrated by the time. Probably not. You see some skeletons that have been preserved, but like more like they're still slowly decaying over time. But you see some dead bodies, but clearly skeletons, no flesh on them whatsoever, and they're not alive. They're just there. They're just dead. Any kind of stain is gone.
no clothing or anything around them?
Actually, yeah, there would be. There would be robes that are kept in good condition.
Can I see any symbols that stand out to me on the robes?
Not that you would understand. But yes, there are symbols.
There are symbols, but they are largely incomprehensible
Yeah,
to me.
to you.
I try to commit them to memory as best as possible, and look out the window at the city. Is there any signs of life, fire, anything like that?
You look out the city. Out the window, you're on a tower. And in the sky, you see a being in dark robes flying towards you.
How far away is he?
Like probably 10, 15 kilometers. Let's say 15, like 14, 13.
I wait for him to
12,
get to me.
11, 10. And on this count, per second, he's going at a roughly like a kilometer a second, maybe faster, who knows. Immediately arrives before you, and it looks like a familiar face.
And Chichiro?
And he says, "Well, I didn't expect to see you here.
You can
Are you
see
looking
me?
to die already? Is this your calling? Is this the time?"
No. No.
I can take it.
Nah, don't worry about it. Nah, you're good. You can relax.
Well,
I
can't.
try.
I said, this is my kingdom. This is my home. We don't really welcome outsiders. And you'll be going now.
Wait, I have a question for you. Can I ask a question?
Sure, we have some time. Your escorts will be here shortly.
Is my will my own?
Not really a question for me. That's maybe a question for Chrono or one of his underlings. I don't really know. Do I even have my own destiny? Who to say? But as long as you're having fun, I think that's what matters.
Okay. Yeah, I think I drank some tea. I don't think I'm having much fun on it though.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm gonna try to get you out of here. This'll only be a moment. And a few moments later, another being shows up. Also not in black robes this time, in more so. Well, you can't see color, so it's just gray. These gray robes, looking somewhat angelic, and will grab you by the hand and lead you back home against your will.
Okay. I think I go with him. I don't like this place. It's creepy.
That is creepy. And you will go, but you don't travel there in the same way. You don't go flying through the air. This person walks with you, and sort of a second later, like that you're in a dream, you appear next to your body. And this the one in robes is more feminine in nature. Says, "Come back, Halifax, when you know more," and ends your connection to the spirit world. And you wake up.
Damn.
Is Theomore over me? Is Theomore around me?
Theomore is probably still actually passed out at this point because your trip got ended early.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm wielding the powers of nature. And using my force magic to conjure thunders in my dreams. Seeing signs.
Okay. Well, you guys, it's still pretty late when you wake up, and
yeah.
You guys.
Okay.
People
Important question here.
Yeah. Was it real?
No. Set the scene, please.
Wait, what do you mean?
I have a big ask.
Oh.
You said people were getting ready. People were like packing up.
Yeah, people are like packing up for the night. You guys, Theomore probably will be carried back to a cot. Halifax, you'll be. You sort of wake up in time to notice this stuff, so you can sort of either carry Theomore yourself, or you feel kind of lightheaded, but you can also and groggy, but you can go over, take both of you over safely.
When Theomore wakes up after having killed that wisdom check and successfully wielded thunder with his mind, sort of.
I want to be clear. You did not. It wasn't thunder.
Sorry, a hurricane and lava.
And a blizzard, yeah.
And a blizzard, yeah. Is he still at 5 wisdom after that? Or has he gotten a little wiser?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask if you're at 4 wisdom now. No, you're no longer wiser.
No longer wiser? Wait, have I gotten down to what? To 4 wisdom? Is that what's happened?
No, neither. You're fine.
You mean to say I haven't unlocked anything within myself through this miraculous feat?
Dude, you were high out of your mind. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just trying to accurately RP how someone who's taken ayahuasca would feel. He
You
feels like he
feel
is
like
like
you've been
15.
called on 3 separate quests to go find these gods. They're also lesser gods. These are um, the nature gods are a little special
Yeah.
because they're not in the astral plane. They are in the material
Hmm.
plane, or
Like,
their own planes of their own planes. So, Terrana, she's literally the world. She's the ground that you stand on. Um, so, yeah, you know,
interesting.
she's not in the sky. I don't know how else to explain that. There's obviously the planes of fire, of earth, and water. Maybe not much is understood about the gods. So I don't think I can tell you more than that in terms of like my world. But what's known is that these ones aren't. These guys aren't stuck in the sky. They're either on this plane or on the elemental planes.
Well, Tur doesn't want anything to do with me.
Correct.
He
I'm just
doesn't think
saying
I'm
the
cool.
rest of those 4.
Yeah, for sure. So, you mean that I feel compelled to find the gods of fire, wind, and water now?
I think so. Waking up
Yeah?
from from taking this drug, yeah, I would say that seems a little bit like back of your mind. It's kind of a dream, but it's one of those dreams that you kind of like hope for. You're like, oh man, like that was like crazy, but it's like kind of wish that did happen. So
Sure.
you have this inkling to seek this out, but it's not like it's not going to compel you. I'm not going to compel you to do any of this. It's in the back
Sure.
of your mind. It's in the back of your mind. And as you go about the day, you kind of forget about it a little bit, but you're like, huh, wait, that actually kind of was weird. But yeah, you guys
Fine.
wake up the next day.
All right.
So, are you guys gonna tell each other about your dreams, or are you just are we going back to Rhineland?
I think in the beginning, it's definitely the awkward moment of like, whoa, we were really tripping balls there, huh?
When I wake up, I grab Theomore and I say, "If I die, remember the name Venchichiro." I
Huh?
I'm, if
Yeah.
I if I die strangely,
One
remember
second.
the name Venchichiro.
Yeah,
Van
okay, wait.
Chichiro.
And he'll stumble over to his notepad and then Chichiro?
I've
What kind
walked
of
out
name
of
is
the.
that anyways?
I walk out of the room. I'm pacing outside.
Did I spell it right?
Alan wouldn't know.
Do you dream about dying?
Uh, I call back to you. Uh, what? Never mind. Never mind. Forget it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I was wielding thunderstorms, man.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Uh, uh,
Thunderstorms.
hurricanes and blizzards, and I think I gotta find the gods.
Theomore, what gods?
Um, the, the fire one, the water one, and the wind one.
What are you gonna do with them when you find them?
I don't know. Um, maybe that's how I unlock more of my powers.
Huh. That tea was some strong stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not a good idea to have this stuff.
yeah. Understand why it's illegal. Anyways, POC, popping some coca leaves into his mouth.
Yeah, I join you. I put an extra helping of coca leaves as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
you guys can get about your day, find the energy somehow.
nice.
Um,
That's how.
you guys can start to pack up. Everyone's sort of packing up. They're getting the stuff that they, and some people were already doing this the day before, but getting their stuff to leave. Actually, I guess they wouldn't have known. No, they're packing up today. People are gonna spend the day. Let's write that it's gonna be the 6th today. 6th. People are packing up to leave today, and then they're gonna head out tomorrow. So, you guys have a day.
Jeez,
That
these
was
guys.
fast.
That was
Perfect.
fast.
Well, they're not bringing like their homes with them. Like they're not carrying all the wood and stuff. So, they're taking their equipments. They're taking their foods.
Animals.
It's also like the spring, so there's not really like a harvest going on right now. So, traveling is technically a little bit easier. Although
Sure.
there would need to be enough food in Rhineland for them. So they're gonna have to deal with some issues with food, but at least for a year. But hey, that's migration for you.
True. We'll
Um,
figure it out.
I think the infrastructure in Rhineland would be equipped to feed 700 additional people, since it was like down like 4,000. So there should
At
be fields
least.
and shit for them to farm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. It's slightly different farming. I mean, it's similar geography, pretty much the same, but slight differences. These guys have more fields to them, but you still have fields back in Rhineland, right outside. Okay. Yeah, you guys can pack up to leave. Is there anything? You guys can stop by Eric.
Yeah.
Eric says, he'll come with you, but he'll have this conversation with you that actually, no, he'll have this conversation later, not right now. He'll come with you. And you guys, if there's nothing else, we can just leave on the 7th. The plan is to go this direction, where it's less wooded, so the horses and everyone can get through.
Yeah.
And since
Sure.
you don't have to go through the forest, you don't take the huge penalties to moving as well. So
Perfect.
this would be faster. I don't know exactly how long this takes. We're
Well,
talking.
we're on horseback, so that'll go faster.
Most people are on horseback, but the horses are still carrying some stuff. Like everyone's still carrying their pack. So we're pretty much just going to move at human rate for this. Like at half encumbrance movement, which is 12 a day. Well, no. Half encumbrance horse would be 24 a day, I believe.
Sure. Yeah, because it would be at 12 and then times 2. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And so this will be 24. What is this? Just 3 days? Take you 3 days, pretty much?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the names of the twins, by the way?
Yeah, their names are. I do have them here. Their names are Yela and Mala. They're both 15 years old.
And they're sort of like
Well, one could
the
hope so if they're twins.
leaders, right?
7, 8, 9. So you'll get there at the end of the 9th.
Are they the leaders of
Let's see.
Yoth, the people of Loth Hugo?
Yes and no. Right now, you guys are sort of the leaders of Loth Hugo. They'll listen to you. And especially with Eric, who can help with some translation. I mean, even though you're fluent in Galan, they have a slightly different dialect than you guys. It is difficult to understand them at points. But they'll listen to you. They'll listen to Eric. But the two girls are more like they're there for spiritual help. People will come to them when like they're sick and they need like spiritual help, but they don't necessarily come for wisdom because they're still like a seniority in this world, but a lot of the old people are being left behind. So they're sort of starting this new generation here. So people will pack up. They'll leave. They'll leave Loth Hugo, which will still be there. There'll be old people. Our granny, Yolana, will watch over the place. And yeah.
All right.
This trip, since you guys are traveling in such huge caravans, and as there's no like war going on or anything, you're not going to be bothered by like monsters or anything, who are, so we don't have to worry about that. I feel like we're good on time, or I feel like this is a good time to wrap up right before getting to
That's true.
Ryland. Is there anything outstanding? We're gonna arrive at 7th in the night, basically, right as like dusk hits. Is there anything we want to add before getting to Rhineland? Any conversations to be had?
We still have that silver, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
The money.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure we have that.
Oh, wait. Okay. So we need to talk. Is the plan that these people are servants of the Empire or servants of us? Because we can still be like, they're sworn to us because of this weird prophecy thing. That's not our fault. However, we're loyal to the Empire. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And so,
Yeah. So they're going to be, they're going to be loyal to us, I think, no matter what.
Yeah.
If the authorities in Rhineland want to tell them what to do, they can do it, but I think it's us that's going to have the final say.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see what'll happen.
The power balance in this town is going to shift drastically when we get there. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, because we can just kill anyone we want. Like, no one can really stand in our way.
Poor
I'm
Nick.
starting to
I
see
just
why
want to
Nick was
remind
so
you that you
worried.
are a paladin, Halifax, and we are still, even if I'm calling you evil, if you do your evil stuff, you will lose your paladin powers. I just want to let you know that that's still on the what's it called? It's still a possibility.
I said that I do not want any harm to befall Lady Siren or anybody. I don't want any bloodshed. I just want Sylvan to be off
Theomore
the.
is fine without bloodshed. It's just if someone insults him, he will snap.
Also, I finally got a little character for Slifer, so.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, nice.
We finally got some stuff. We're getting there, guys.
Yay, our beloved level 1 little fighter girly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The two girls, they have their tattoos on them. Their tattoos are matching though. So you know, if you want to remember that, you can. Eric's coming with you.
At some point.
Eric is gonna make a point though, when you get there, that he doesn't do well in towns, and he's gonna make his own little place out in the woods out here in the north, or actually probably in the south, more like it. He's gonna make his own little woods here, you know, and one of these, like, you know where to find him, or well, if you need to find him, you probably can, but he doesn't really want to partake in the city stuff or in the town stuff.
Makes sense.
So he has that conversation when you guys get there, when you guys are approaching.
Oh, I want to warn him about not the furlings. What are they called?
Gibberlings?
The gibberlings. Say that we've had gibberling attacks in the town before. So use that. Wisely place your cabin. Maybe you want to do it on the south side of town. I don't know if there are very many down there.
he'll take that into consideration. Maybe he'll put something up in the trees. Who knows? But yeah, okay. What I think we can do XP and then mini plotting for next session. XP at 99%. I mean, this was technically like a plot, I guess, but I feel like I already gave you plot XP last session. It's kind of like all one big plot.
This is like a little bit of an extra plot part.
It is. It is.
I need so much XP anyway, so.
Okay, I'll give you 500 each for the plot because I know it's becoming
Thank you.
exponential.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys need like a lot more to. I'll give you 500 for the plot. This was a good RP session. It was pretty much all RP. You guys are doing great. I'll throw you 250 for that.
Oh, that's sick, actually.
Yeah.
And that's about it, I feel. You guys have your egg. Oh, actually, wait. This is a... Hold on. Where's my egg? Where's my egg? Previous session. What day is it? It's the... What did I leave you guys at?
9th.
9th? Okay. You're good. Egg is good. Okay. Egg's good. Although do remind me about the egg, because I might forget about it.
Yeah, and we have standard operating is doting upon the egg. So like we're constantly making sure it's the right temperature. It's not too hot,
Just
not too
being-
cold. We're flipping it regularly. Like
Yeah, I
Very
just
much
want to...
okay.
I have a date that the egg does hatch. So I
Ooh.
do need you guys to... what's it called?
Sure.
Remind me every day if the egg hatches.
Yes.
But so far, it's the 9th when you guys show up, or the 10th in the morning.
Sure.
We're showing up at the night. Egg has not hatched. Okay, that's egg. Any gear, any extra testing with gear that you want to get out of the way, or are you guys good on that? We'll just figure
When
that
I
out
turn into a
later.
bat and I fly around, would it be theoretically possible for me to like dive down on an area, transform into a human again, and make an attack? Or would that be...
In one round?
Yeah.
No.
So I can't make like a diving attack.
It will. I mean, it depends. You're gonna risk killing yourself. You can It takes you about a minute to make the transformation.
Okay, so it's an action.
It's a full round action, yeah, to make your transformation.
Sure, but I could fly down on an area, poof, become human.
Yeah. At night.
Yeah, of course.
At night. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you can do more testing with that later. Okay, plot. What are you guys doing? I mean, I guess you're going through the action, so I guess I can't really... You guys can't... Okay, here's my only question. Are you planning on invading the Black Bronze family the next session?
Maybe.
No, like how... Like, are we just gonna go through... Because chances are we could also just spend the whole session RPing, because we did a lot of combat these past few weeks, but are you gonna do like a whole thing with like tinning and Sypha and like why I don't know what else actually. It's mostly those two. Maybe trying to get into contact with the Black Bronze, or like is this we are going to like how...
I think what Theomore wants to do right now is levitate himself so that he has vision up above the castle and then just start spraying fireballs. Or, sorry, the magic missiles. Fireballs if he had any, but he doesn't have any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see. I think there might be a lot of planning involved. What I imagine. Now we always like to throw you curveballs, but from right now, what I like to.
The ayahuasca thing was like,
Yeah. I was
I'm
g-
not planning
I was
this.
I was
I was gonna give you
Dude,
props for the improv on that. Very good.
yeah, it was really
I'm
good.
so glad I planned some of these things in advance, like way in advance, like months or if not like I planned one of these things like a few years ago. Some of this lore
Oh,
goes back actually like before I even started DMing. So,
Oh, nice.
but anyways, that's besides the point.
nice.
Yeah, this
So
is
we're going through history.
we're going way back. Yeah. Sorry, what are you saying? You're gonna throw a curveball or?
So we could always throw you a curveball. I can't tell you if we are going to
Going
at
to the
this
mine.
point.
Oh yeah, there's also the mine. God damn. I still have a
If
map
they're
for the
still on
mine.
strike, they're still on strike. We're just killing the strikers. Theomore is very tired of all this, like, pussyfooting around, not willing to step on anyone's toes.
We need
He's
draconian
got the
law.
magic missiles. Yes, he's got the magic missiles. He's got the brutal levitation spells. Drop
Okay.
people from high up. It's perfect.
I
Um,
think, yeah.
yeah. Oh, speaking of, since I leveled up, I should be able to select a spell that I could learn, and I haven't decided
Did
on
you
one
just
yet,
level up
so
right
I'll think
now?
about it. Well, last session.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's the spell?
I don't know yet. Wait, shit. I
If you
had an
don't
idea,
if you
and
don't know, you don't get it.
ooh, come on, where is it?
What's the spell?
Oh no, fuck! 'Cause we got horses. Never mind. Wanted to learn to spell mount, but never mind. Let me think, and I'll get back to you.
One thing is, one important thing. This is gonna be a future problem, but for the egg thing, for the giant eagle thing, even if giant eagles are trainable, you do kind of need a training proficiency. Okay? Which means you would need an animal handling proficiency, which sort of kind of means you need somebody to do this for you. I finally got down all the, I got Eric's proficiencies down, is no animal handling. Just want to let you know that. Because rangers sort of get it as just being rangers, but they don't get, like, it's not the same thing. I wrote down.
But they can.
Wouldn't
Can
he
they?
legit though be?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Can he teach since he kind of has it built into him? Can he teach? Because I have a non-proficiency slot available to me.
No. He doesn't have the proficiency. It's not like how rangers automatically get tracking as a proficiency.
Uh-huh.
Rangers get like special powers for dealing with animals, but not like they're not proficiencies.
So he wouldn't be able to transfer those skills through like
No,
teaching at all.
this is like something like
Okay.
animals just like.
Innate.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a sorcerer trying to teach magic to a wizard. It's not gonna
Sure.
work.
He can only show you the effects, not his process of getting there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There's like this kind of like
Yeah.
gentle touch that like rangers have towards. Anyways, I think that's everything. I think we're good.
Sick.
We'll transition over.